what do you say to because there are guys out there, and let's say men in their 20s and 30s who have very little sex drive, who
Oh,
don't
man.
care, who feel like one they whatever. We don't have to talk about the dating aspect of it
Yeah.
because dating's stressful, whatever, and we can get into that if we want to. But a lot of men, they don't care to date. But a lot of men don't even care for sex these days. Some have very low sex drives, and I personally can't relate to that at all.
Yeah.
I've always been a horny little
Me too.
punk.
Me too. You know what's crazy too is like competing. A lot of people like lose their sex drive at the end, like going toward like the end, like getting closer to show day,
Right.
and it's the complete opposite for me.
Yeah.
Like as
yeah,
I, like,
I would
start
say
getting
so too.
tired or whatever, like for some reason my sex drive like goes up. And I
Before
don't know,
before I finish the show he's talking about.
yeah, and I don't know, maybe if it's because to answer your question too, like the gym, like that's going to be one of their first things again. Like it will help you with your confidence and it will bring down your fat, and with your fat, like you'll lower your estrogen and cortisol, and those are things that are kind of
So fat goes down in your body, estrogen goes down.
estrogen is stored in fat,
Okay.
and cortisol levels go down, stress levels go down,
Test goes up.
testosterone goes up.
Yeah.
Right, when you lift weights, there's a temporary increase in testosterone. Now, the science before, we used to think, oh, like testosterone, like permanently increases from a workout, but it's not. There's a short like duration where it increases, but over a long duration, as you start to put on more muscle, you do see that uptake of like testosterone.
Because I'm fairly certain the stats show, like if you were to get scientific about it and look at stats and men going to the doctor, yada yada yada, that like testosterone has decreased in men over the last 100 years. Like it is going down and down and down, and I show concern. Like why do I know men who are saying they don't even care for
Yeah.
sex? They barely even masturbate. If anything, they don't care for it. And I just can't
Well,
relate
good for
to
them
that.
not masturbating, because
Well, yes.
we've been on that tip.
Yeah, exactly. But like to not even desire.
Yeah, it's a little weird, right? So they said like alcohol, like I said, alcohol. I don't know if like alcohol consumption's up or whatever. There's that. There's like again, obesity, I think, is a cause of it. I also think that a lot of men now are just like they don't want to make the effort because of just kind of. I just trying to say it. Just kind of the bullshit that you have to deal with.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of, so it's just like, fuck this. Forget. Like, pardon my French. Like,
Yeah.
I just, I don't want to make that effort.
Yeah.
And even as a horny bastard
Yeah.
at times, like, there's been a lot of times where I'm like, I don't want to make the effort.
Mm.
Man, there's been times where I'm like, I'm not gonna make that. There's something on the table, and I'm like, I don't feel like making this drive.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I don't want to get into that right now.
Yeah, yeah.
I shouldn't even tell those
Yeah.
stories.
Yeah, don't do that.
Okay, let me ask you this: they say you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah.
For sure. Some men, when they get it, they're like, okay, I'm good now. For me, when I get it or when I have sex,
It
I
opens up
want it
more,
more.
yeah.
Like more and like
Yeah,
I
me
don't know
too.
if my test levels are going through the roof.
Yeah, me too.
But like the more I get it, the more I want it. If
Yeah.
I don't use it for a while, that's
you're
when I'm
okay.
like, I'm good. I don't
Yeah,
care. Like
yeah.
it's really weird.
It's so weird.
Right?
It's so
and
weird.
I'm talking about like sex. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And some men will tell me, no, if I get it, and then I'm good for like a week. I'm like, nah, I want to
No.
go again and again
Yo,
and again.
me and my homegirl, again, so we've talked about this on the podcast, two female breastfeeds, Natasha and Amanda. And me and her were talking about this the other day, and we were like, how are you married and like you go a month or two without having sex?
Not
like,
healthy.
That's what we said.
Yeah, not
That's what we
healthy.
said. And any I don't know, any people, my girl now and whatever, like we said, like that can never happen. Like
No.
I'm not turning her into a roommate.
No.
Never. I'm
No.
not turning into a roommate. Like, and I might be able to give you like a month pass or like a couple of weeks on the occasion because you know you're going through some stuff. Maybe your grandma died, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And you're like you're off for a bit. Maybe you got some some medical situation going on. That's where you might get your bly. But aside from that, like we don't go a week, 2
No,
weeks.
no.
Like no frigging
No,
way.
no.
So that's like a couple months. But then I also hear couples that I'm like, oh, it's been like 2 years, and I'm like, clearly both of you guys are sleeping with somebody else.
For sure.
But they'll tell you, no, we just don't have time. The kids, we're happy. And I'm like, that is the biggest sack of shit ever.
For sure. And there's different
no way.
there's different scenarios. There's a scenario where the man and the woman both like aren't desiring it from each other. Probably something else is going on. Whether it's cheating or there's just like a huge disconnect somewhere else. They're not on the same vibe at that moment. There's other scenarios where one of them might want it and the other one's rejecting them. When that is not right at all either.
Yeah.
It's actually in the Bible that you're always supposed to be there for your partner physically, unless an agreed upon a desired time, like like if there's someone just died or just had a baby or something. It's actually in the Bible. It says that to avoid infidelity, always be there for your partner physically. Not those exact words, but paraphrasing. But it's actually in the Bible and it says that. So like there's different scenarios there, right? But like if both people aren't wanting it, something going on there.
How could you be sitting in your home? I'm gonna even shorten that time. Let's say 4 months.
Yeah.
And you mean to say that in 4 months there is no sexual desire, and you're like, yeah, this guy pisses me off and whatever, but like he's here and he's my husband, so and I need some right now, so I'm gonna take it.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen at all.
I don't get it.
That the only thing I could say, or the only thing that I would think of, or I can suggest, is like, oh, there must be like something hormonally wrong then.
Potentially. Yeah, potentially.
But from what's the chances that both of them have something? There's no desire hormonally from both of them. So it tells me like your marriage is on it's on its way to the end now, and you just haven't recognized that yet.
Yeah, potentially. And so like the men out there, don't allow that to happen. I know for me, that's one of my probably biggest motivators.
Yeah.
Making sure my wife desires me.
Well, of
like
course.
She's still a massive motivation to get my butt to the gym.
Of course.
Like I want my wife to look
your
and be
best.
like, yo, I
I'm
want to
hungry
drop
for
this
him.
guy's pants right now.
Yeah.
That's why I stay on my A game.
Right.
You know what I mean? And she was the one woman that came into my life who, however many years later, I still want to impress her. I still want to be like, yo, you see me, right?
Yeah.
That punk. You see me.
Yeah.
Right?
You should always like want to like earn your girl.
Yeah.
And have a desire to work hard for her.
Yes.
I think.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, you should always have the desire to work hard for her.
100%.
Right.
And when you find a girl like that, she's something special to you.
Yeah.
In my opinion, she's someone special to you.
Yeah.
Right?
Because there's other girls that will make you. There's a weird like line too though. Like you can work hard because you're trying to be what the girl wants, and that's not kind of what I would suggest. Like you shouldn't like you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you should work hard to be the best version of you for her.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. You're trying to impress her.
Yeah, you're trying to impress
This is
her.
what I do. You're
Right.
attracted to it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to keep doing this. And I'm going to keep being me.
Yeah, so
Right.
to circle back, like I think that guys need to they need to work on themselves, man. Like if you're not having any desire, like two parts of that, because we were talking about two things. You need to work on yourself if you're a guy and there's like no desire. And in a marriage, I just don't I don't see how that could be a healthy marriage if you guys are not having sex. And I guess I would love to have somebody on the show or open this up to like our audience and our, I don't know if you want to call them fans, followers, whatever the case is like, if you're in a marriage, do you guys like, and you don't, is it like, do you just don't desire to have sex? Like,
Yeah.
I want to hear more about that. I think I need to just hear more about that.
Yeah.
Like, is it no desire to have sex with them, or just no desire to have sex, period?
Yeah.
Or is it just like, I can't understand.
And there could be a plethora of things wrong. Like it could go so many different ways of what could be wrong.
Yeah.
It could be hormonal. It could
Yeah.
be, you know
But
what I
what's
mean?
the
Just,
chances that both people have something hormonal? And if one person has something wrong
You
and
know
the other
what?
one doesn't, does the other one not speak up and the other one be like, shit, like, yeah, I do want to please my person. Maybe I should get this looked at and checked
yeah,
out.
yeah,
My grandfather on my dad's side said one thing to me, like he was in Jamaica, right? And, you know, I didn't get to hang out with him a lot. I didn't get to spend a ton of time with him, but on the odd occasion, the odd occasion, we would hang out, whatever. And there's one thing that he said to me, and it's always stuck out to me. And he's like, if you are in a relationship and you haven't seen or been physical with your person in 9 months, the relationship is over. It's done. And I don't know why he chose 9 months or whatever, but I'm pretty sure it's either 9 months or 10. But after that, he's like, that's no longer your girl. It's no longer your
So
girl.
I'll take it further because I actually got a great piece of advice from a dude I really respect, who I learned lots from, Italian guy, and he said, 1 week.
What?
If you are not having sex with your partner at least once a week, something's wrong.
Yeah.
Again, unless there's a certain amount of time that you guys agreed that you're not going to do it because of a funeral or you just had a baby, there's going to be those times when that happens. Other than that, at least once a week. If you're not doing it at least once a week, something's wrong in a relationship. Something's wrong on one of the sides in the relationship at least once a week. And I know I can follow that.
Yeah.
Because it's got to be at least once a week minimum. Right, but I took that advice from him.
I'm just mind boggled on how
I-
that doesn't happen.
I took that advice from him, and I'm just like, no, that sounds fairly accurate.
Yeah.
It sounds fairly accurate.
If you are having sex and you guys are communicating, I think like you're pretty. Those are the tell signs that chances are you guys are good.
Yeah.
Maybe you're not good at the moment, but you'll be good.
Yeah.
You're still having sex
Yeah,
and you talk to each other.
yeah,
Chances are, you know, maybe there was some fucked up stuff that happened or whatever, but you might be able to work on it.
yeah.
But
yeah.
if
that's the key, working on
working on it, but if you
recognizing something's wrong, like, yo, we're not doing it. Like,
yeah,
what's
but
wrong?
if you're
Let's
not,
fix
if
this.
you're not having sex, there's something wrong. And if
Yeah.
you're not talking, there's
Yeah.
something wrong.
Yeah, no, it's
You
part
know
of
what I
life.
mean? You can't come in the house and you like say, "Oh yeah, I love my person, whatever," but we just never talk. What?
No, no,
You don't? Something's
No.
wrong then.
no. And back to the hormonal thing real quick. Because I feel like since you said that, my mind's kind of going in a certain way. Because the other day, and again, a very personal story, but in the middle of the night, I don't even know what time it was. Let's say 2 a.m. I woke up with the most insane hard on, right? And like it was like, you know, just like hard as it could get, uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I gotta do it, right?
I gotta
So-
wake up.
wake up, right? But like,
Hello.
I-
Hello.
So what I did was I just turned over, pulled the pants down, and went to town. But like, here's the best part. Like, here's the best part, Mike.
She wasn't upset.
No, not at
She
all.
wasn't just
I have
like,
the
man,
best wife in the
it's
world.
still, like, what do you, bro? It's
No,
3 a.m.
I have the best wife in the world.
Yeah.
And again, too much information. I understand, but
yeah.
I think men should hear this.
Yeah.
Like, right?
Yeah.
Like she was ready.
Yeah.
And to me, that's hormones. It's like my body was clearly ready,
Yeah.
and it's like her body could sense
Sense
it,
he's
even though
like-
she was sleeping.
He's like, oh,
And that-
things are waking up.
It was like an oven.
Yeah.
It was like it was perfect. Like it was
like she was ready.
ready. No
That
foreplay
makes
needed.
No sense.
Hormones.
That
Hormones.
makes no
So what my
sense.
point is, if the hormones can work that way, 'cause
Yeah.
that's the only explanation I have.
Yeah,
It was game on
It's-
right away. No foreplay. No nothing. It was
Yeah.
just like ready. Hey, yeah.
That
Oh,
was the
you're on.
chemistry. That
I'm
was the
on too.
chemistry.
Chemistry,
For-
right?
yeah.
So maybe the chemistry can work the other way as well.
Where
Whereas
it shuts down, it's like I'm dried up like Sahara Desert.
someone's
like
so
chips.
dead inside,
like chips.
you're making
Dried
me
as
dead.
chips.
right. So maybe potentially it could be something like that.
It could
Maybe you're
be.
affecting your partner
It could
because of you're not taking care of your body, you're
Yeah.
not taking care of yourself, or you've got stress or anxiety or whatever it
could
is,
be.
and that's killing the relationship as well.
There's a study I remember reading, and it was something I don't like to say studies when I don't know exactly like the details of it, but it was something along the lines of They had these women blindfolded and they made them smell different men.
Mm.
And the ones that were had minerals and vitamins higher than what they were lacking. Like, does that make sense? So let's say I was lacking vitamin E,
Okay.
but the person that I was smelling had a high thing of vitamin E. They were attracted to those smells. It was some weird shit that I was like, God damn! Like our body, we as old as humans are, the way that we work is still functioning.
Oh yeah, we
like,
have no idea
like we were
really.
in caves.
Yeah, yeah.
It's still functioning like it's so.
There's so much to
still
learn because a lot of people don't
primitive
talk
and
about it too,
animalistic.
especially something so sensitive.
Yeah.
Like we don't talk about exactly what we're attracted to, this
Yeah,
and that, blah
yeah,
blah
yeah.
blah. But like if we talk about it, we'll probably
Yeah.
learn a lot
Yeah.
more, right?
There's some cool stuff. Like that's again, alpha nerds. You know, whatever represent we nerds. I love reading studies and shit like that. Man,
Yeah.
where you just like find out like how shit actually works and what actually happened.
This isn't very scientific. I never am usually very scientific.
Yeah.
But so I typically shave down there,
Yeah.
keep it clean,
Yeah. Me too.
makes it look bigger.
Yeah. I
I
just
think
feel
that's-
cleaner.
I
Man.
feel cleaner. It feels
feel
nicer.
cleaner,
It feels cleaner.
Yeah.
I just like the way it feels.
Yeah.
And this is the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
But I've noticed sometimes, like, when I've had like some bush,
Yeah.
obviously you're sweating down there a little
You
bit
smell
more,
a bit different.
smell different.
Yeah.
More women are attracted to me. I've had that in the past,
Oh.
and I don't know if that's a thing.
Yeah, it could be.
It could be you're
It could
letting
be,
off
it's
some
more-
man
yeah,
smell,
yeah,
some
yeah.
you know what I mean. I don't know
could
what it
be.
is.
Yeah.
Like, isn't that wild to
It's
think
could be
about
'cause
that?
again, like for me, it's just like maybe you're like, oh, it smells like musky, and like I just don't like how it makes me feel. But
Yeah.
to the opposite sex, they're like, it's the missing piece.
It's something, right?
It's the puzzle that's like, oh, like that's when I need it.
Yeah,
Right?
and
For
it's
us,
just like
we're like, oh, I have too much of this. I don't need it.
right.
But to the woman, she's like, oh, that's exactly what my
Right.
body needs.
It's the pheromones, whatever,
Yeah.
going off. You know what I mean? Like I've noticed that like throughout my life,
That's
coming up as a
how
young
you
lad.
observe that, like,
I'm weird like that, bro. I'm weird like that,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it would be so wild if that's actually a thing. And
Yeah.
it could make sense. And like even with the hair, like I think about stuff like that. Like our body always does what it needs to do.
Mhm.
And like there's a reason why I have hair in my arms. Some people don't, but it's a
Yeah.
reason why I have a little bit of hair on my shoulders and on my balls or whatever. Like there's a reason for
Yeah,
that. What
like,
is that
yeah.
reason? You know, like, it's
Yeah,
not just there.
everything, yeah, like
Right?
eyebrows, like
It's and
our bodies are
usually has
very
something
smart,
to do with
yeah.
survival
Yeah, yeah,
or something like
yeah,
that,
yeah,
right?
Yes,
You know what I
yes.
mean? So it's like, yo, should I be
Yeah,
taking that
there
off?
there's probably a reason why it's there.
Yeah,
The-
exactly.
The thing is, like the way because of how we live now. Yes, there might be a reason why it
Back
is
when,
there.
yeah,
But now we don't need it.
Yeah.
So
you would think,
we just haven't.
you never know.
evolved yet. Yeah, you don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know.
you never know, right?
Right. But
Maybe it's something we don't know, which would be
yeah,
crazy.
I mean, when you think about it too, like the way we've evolved in the last, let's say, 1,000 years or whatever,
yeah,
has been like so fast
Mm.
compared to before.
mm.
So the things that we think now, like that we're experiencing now, like it hasn't been that long in the in terms of like human beings as a species. It's like yesterday,
Mm.
right? It's not like yeah, it's just yesterday. That's all the way. That's the only way that I can explain it. It hasn't been enough time
Yeah,
for us to really change much,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. That's what I think at least.